what would you do?
Oh my
You
God.
better not say sleep.
You mean like if I didn't have a job?
The question is, if you had absolutely nothing to do,
I probably
would
would read.
I
would read. I would listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
I would just like do the things that I can't do because I have other things to do. Like I have so much going on. I feel
I'm with you on the read thing though.
Yeah.
I would read so much more,
Mm-hmm.
and just because I have like a list of enough books to keep me busy for at least a year. So, and I have gotten to like book number 2.
Yeah.
So
I would probably blog more. Like I would do a lot of the things that I feel happy about doing if I didn't have to do the required things.
the busiest person I know is blank. I'll name that. The busiest person I know is my husband.
Oh.
He is so busy. And he does do a great job of blocking off time for us and, taking a pause. But he always has something to do. And it makes me feel like I need to always be doing something.
Oh. Yeah.
So he's super busy, which is a good thing. I know that makes him happier by being busy.
Mm-hmm.
But I do kind of think it's neat when I see him being still.
Oh.
And not doing anything. I'm like, ooh, he's like taking a nap. That is so
Relaxing.
good.
I would say me or my husband. Either one of us are the busiest people we know. And it's kind of like an ongoing joke where he's like, nobody's going to outwork me. And I'm like, guess I will, because we're all competitive like that. So, and you're right about that whole taking a nap and actually like sitting down and relaxing. As much as I say I want to sleep more, I don't get as much sleep as I need to get because I'm always doing things. So yeah, I feel like taking things off the list would add other things to the list just because that's what I like to be doing stuff.
Because you and that doctor are like twins, so we already knew that.
Oh, that's right. I didn't even connect that.
There you all go again.
That it's like, oh, let me take this off. Oh, I got a new job.
How did I sign up for 2 of y'all? I have no idea. But the whole thing is, let's think about, because we are very busy being busy. And you do have to make a conscientious effort to create the time and the moments that you need to take care of yourself, take care of things that matter to you. As I said, I have discovered like an extra hour and a half every night just by not being on social media.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. You have to really, and like I have enjoyed taking my son to basketball practice because that frees up 2 hours. Either I can be on social media, I can read, or I can talk. But it gives me 2 hours where I feel like I can't be anywhere else. Yeah. So let me get to work.
And my anxiety about doing extracurricular activities with my girls. And it has actually, as you said, forced me to have a moment to myself.
Yeah.
Like 2 hours of dance practice.
That's right.
I get to meet with my friends through the week, which is something I would never have done on a regular day. I would like, nope.
Yeah.
School night. Got to get ready for tomorrow.
Right.
Got to go to bed by 10:30,
That's true.
With this time, I'm able to go walking, and that's something that we didn't say, but I do enjoy taking walks, long walks on the beach.
Yeah, I enjoy gardening as well, and I haven't been able to do that much.
Yeah.
Of that period, in like 2 years. So
there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We need you to think about A, what is eating up your time?
Right.
B, what's something that you would do if you had an extra hour, and go out there and create that extra hour.
Right.
Because it's out there. Because there is something that's taking up the time, but it may not be meaningful.
You gotta find it and do some soul searching. It's really useful.
You have to reflect, and you have to be super honest with yourself, because social media is enjoyable and it's fun. But you know what I've been saying to myself? No, pick up a real book. Don't pick up Facebook. Don't pick up Instagram. Pick up a real book.
Look at you.
Yeah.
I do podcasts though.
Trying to grow up.
I've been listening to a lot of those instead of radio.
Please believe that I know that, because you always come with so much information.
Girl,
to
okay.
overwhelm me.
Let me just, speaking of podcasts, I plan to be on one, and we'll talk about that like later.
Wait a minute, that's supposed to be, that was a sweet tea, girl.
I don't know. It hasn't
that?
happened yet, so we'll see. But I do plan on talking about, dun dun dun, the NFL boycott. Elephant in the room.
Are you guys feeling this tension?
Room. Oh my God. I'm so happy
All
we
this
had
tension.
Relax, Relate, Release before this because I was all worked up. But now, I mean, I'll just say that I hadn't been convicted, and I am a 49ers fan, love Colin Kaepernick.
You are.
But I had not been convicted to boycott the NFL, and I think it was just my own stubborn. It's just been a thing. We have our NFL bucket list.
But here's the thing about you too on that stubborn side.
Mm-hmm.
If a whole lot of people are doing it, you want to go the opposite way,
right?
So I can see why that probably made you hesitate.
I don't want to bandwagon a bunch of stuff. I do know why he was kneeling. I respect that. I definitely recognize that as the truth. But it wasn't until, and I feel like probably a lot of other Americans, it wasn't until your president
who
made the comment about the SOBs and that if they're kneeling, they need to be fired. And it just brought me back to that whole, because, okay, people who have gone to HBCUs talk about this all the time. I don't know, maybe
okay, tell me.
They talk about how athletics would be so much stronger at an HBCU if all Black people still went to HBCUs. Like back in the day, there was different leagues, but those schools were not as successful because there was no Black boys there running for them. There was no Black boys that running football for them. They were at HBCUs, and that was where the strength of the athletics was.
Okay.
So we talk about that, and it's kind of like, man, instead they're over there, major entertainment for all of America, running, throwing, and the entire America is cheering them on. And it's kind of like, dang, that's a talent that we have. You look around, you see maybe a white quarterback, and you see a bunch of Black people doing all the rest of the work. Some cases you might see a couple Black quarterbacks. Shout out to Colin Kaepernick.
Please don't forget about Cam. Cam
Newton is... He's Black
not the quarterback
card
anymore?
Got revoked like 2 years ago.
Oh, I didn't get the memo. Sorry.
Yeah, he's an All Lives Matter person. So I can't believe you didn't know that.
I don't watch a lot of TV.
Okay, yeah.
And I record shows so that I can fast forward through any type of advertising. Or
I get it. He's about that money. And he doesn't want to ruin his brand with taking a stance about certain things. So he was not for Colin Kaepernick doing what he did either. Okay, this is not about Cam.
I am so sorry. Girl, I'm just going to take a seat and let you educate on this.
No, I'm not going to educate. I feel like everyone has, if anyone who was, because I know you get a pass. You were unplugged from the world for this.
I have been so unplugged.
Which is fine. I get it. But what convicted me
when
was
you texted me and said you weren't watching it, though. I felt like I needed to stop, but I didn't know why. It came on TV. I told my husband, I was like,
we're not doing that.
Doing? Sharifa said we boycotting. He said, why? I said, oh no.
I just felt like it was just over. I was convicted at that point that I don't need to support something that is not supportive of a stance that was taken. So Colin Kaepernick took a stance to kneel during the Pledge of Allegiance. This was a year ago.
I knew this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, last year. And he kneeled the entire season. And this year he finds himself without a job. And that is bad. But he did. Okay, so the reason why I didn't necessarily boycott was because he purposely did not accept the contract with the 49ers again. So he decided to become a free agent, but then now no one's picking him up. Now this is a NFL Super Bowl. He took his team to the Super Bowl. There's no reason in the world that he would not be picked up if he were anyone else, besides the fact that he has made this, social injustice stance. Mm-hmm. Fast forward to today, Sports Illustrated came out with a cover that showcased every single many athletes who were kneeling this weekend and did not include fill in the blank. Kaepernick. So people are mad. They're like, look, he is the reason why
they're doing it.
Any of this even started. And one sportscaster even said, this is like talking about the bus boycott and not mentioning Rosa Parks. Or Martin Luther King. I was like, Martin Luther. You're right. But it's like, why would you not at least put him on the front of Sports Illustrated as being the first person to even decide to put this into play? It's straight up like craziness.
Interesting.
And so I'm just wondering what all this is. I'm trying to figure all this out and like, but in my own personal stance, I just feel like if every Black person who was a professional athlete decided not to play, what impact would that make on the United States or the world? Like, what would happen? Could it happen?
It could, but Cam will still be there.
Cam would be there. Yeah.
That's what you just told me. So that's my...
But he wouldn't be able to throw to nobody. So.
I'm feeling super uncomfortable right now. This elephant got me all uncomfortable.
Yeah. I don't know. This is just a question. And this is a question for white people and for Black people.
Oh, yeah.
If you are a UGA fan and did not see the same people out there playing next week that you saw this last week when they beat the pants off of Mississippi State, like, how would you feel about that? Would you be entertained? I just wonder. Just a question.
And it does... I do hate that most of the time, historically, people of different races can come together for sports. And, you know, they're cheering on and encouraging and feeling close to athletes that may not be the same race in the action of the game. But it saddens me that nobody, all these fans, all these people on the opposite side of the coin are not just taking a moment to consider, why is this happening? Like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Because you were cheering for him when he took y'all to the Super Bowl.
Right. This had to be for a reason. We can't just automatically say he's spitting
an SOB.
Yeah, he's spitting on the people who have died for him for a war in America. Like, I don't know why people go to that.
That is the part that bothers me so much because, like, no one, when else, and this came up too, when else in all of your life, besides in school, are you even saluting a flag or standing for a flag or showing patriotism?
Right.
Besides in the military. But, like...
Right.
He didn't sign up to be in the military, so why should he have to do that? He's not in school, so why should he have to do... So it's just, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of sides. I'm on the side of, you know, supporting what is right. And to me, you know, if he is taking a stance against injustices that go on in the United States, then I'm all for supporting that because it's true. If people don't want to understand that this is the truth and want to put up smokes and mirrors about, you know, this don't make no sense. He is anti-patriot. He is all this stuff. And it's kind of like, well, isn't freedom about being able to have freedom of speech? And so your grandfather fought for our freedom in America. You saying that, you should be on the side of being able to be free.
Right.
Right?
Right. And speaking up for injustices.
I mean, there's just so much we can talk about.
Sometimes we conclude on the elephant in the room, but I feel like this one's just going to be hanging out there.
It will. And, you know, this is something I think that we all should be aware of and we should be watching. Like,
Sorry, you just keep convicting me.
Well, no, what was exciting to me, though, was... I think that the NBA is going to catch on because the Steph Curry hesitated to go to the White House, and Trump called him out and said, your invitation is rescinded. Exactly. You're not invited. Okay, LeBron steps in, and they're all worked up. You should know that WNBA, some of their players kneeled at their finals, and then the very first NBL, Major League Baseball player.